I would like to have few, discussion, a few points to, elaborate from your experiences that Shoaib, you've been part of tech era pre, internet times as well. And then internet age came in, and then today the AI/ML age is there. So already three generational, systems you have seen. What are your thoughts? What was technology solving then? What is technology solving today, and what can technology solve tomorrow?
Good question. This is my favorite sales and marketing observation. When we started 30 years ago, the promise was, "Tum technology dal do, and you will save time and you will save a lot of money." And that used to be on everybody's brochure. And even if you look at today, it's the same promise. You will save a lot of time, you'll save a lot of money, and your business will grow. Yes, many businesses have grown, and sometimes when I'm reflecting and thinking about some of my achievements, that some of the clients whom we sold technology in the early days have grown tremendously. Right? So in that sense, the premise still holds. Of course, the opportunities are slightly different, but I think the frame still remains. And the differentiation, of course, is that how we do this now, that while the end promise is the same, what we do is continuously changing. And that's the piece of the technology which we need to understand. Yeah.
Similar question to KP. Given you have also seen different diverse industries, and you have seen adoption of technology in those industries as well. At the same time, we are talking about the MSME sector here predominantly. So, from your diverse exposure, have you seen the large companies' engagement with the smaller entities change over the period of time? How it has changed? What were they demanding, expecting earlier, and what is the expectation today?
So can you repeat the last thing again?
So large companies engage with small companies as vendors, as associates, as partners. How was the situation earlier, and how is the situation today? If the expectation has changed based upon technology adoption, data, are they looking at something different beyond the product, or are they looking at the same thing that give me a good product, I'm good to go?
Okay. I am not a techie guy. I am a hardcore FMCG and telecom guy. I was completely into sales and distribution. So my perspective about the IT industry and technology was completely different. What I was thinking in my mind and exactly, that is completely changed when I joined Zoho about 8 years back. What I could see here is I am from a background where you talk about competition. So, how I can compete with, similar industries. Take example of FMCG itself. You have one product, probably your soap powder, and the same soap powder is going to be my competition. So that is how it is. Joining here and working with this accounting fraternity especially, so I could learn that how you can leverage the strength of each other. So accessibility of the smaller concerns to the bigger concern was a concern actually. So there was absolutely no connection. So the technology actually solved that barrier of connecting with bigger companies and in fact the industries. So any business entity, if you look at the opportunity to meet multiple vendors and multiple customers have drastically improved. That is what we could say. In fact, Tally at one point of time, we can say when you consider only the target audience, then Tally is our competitor. But we work both of us work in different platforms. So, but there are excellent opportunities. We in fact leverage the strength of each other and have integration also. So this is definitely going to grow. I am only if someone is asking, so what exactly the SME sector or chartered accountant fraternity has to do, then I will say that you have to open it up, you have to leverage this and get connected to the bigger industries as such.
So I think what you want to say, to simplify, is it's a digitally connected world. Large companies also want to engage with smaller entities to make them distributors, resellers, or even local partners. And in a digitally connected environment, if the smaller entities are also digitally enabled, it becomes seamless for their communication, exchange of data, and helps them explore opportunities which others may not be able to explore, because वो शायद उतना ready नहीं है इन opportunities के लिए. Building on to it, what Shoaib also mentioned, that the proposition is still the same. I'll solve your problems, take away some of your headache, reduce the effort needed to manage things. Do you think ease of doing business is the only aspect while entrepreneurs are looking at technology? Or there are aspects beyond ease of doing business, maybe growth or something else? Why an entrepreneur is looking at automation, and what is the expectation today, you think, from the new tech pieces which are coming in?
I think, see, the entrepreneurs are now, see, technology is everywhere. I mean, if you're not adopting, then you are getting left behind. So there is a feeling that I need to be onto some technology or the other. So it's just you can't collaborate with each other. It's as simple as that. You can't collaborate, you can't work with the government, you can't work with the bank, and potentially you can't work with a chartered accountant if you are not using the technology which allows it to happen. So really speaking, there's not that much of a thought of it's almost there. Now, once this has happened, how well do you want to do it? And I think that's the key question, that I bought technology, even if I buy a simple phone, 5% of the capability I use, 10% I will use. 80-90% it is just there. And I keep feeling bad that newer and newer things come and I keep buying newer and newer and not even using the old 10%. So that needs introspection, that can I use and can I exploit it better?
Leverage what
I've got. And that's an unarticulated statement. So that's not being tapped into, and whoever can tap this in becomes a lot tighter in terms of a partnership and loyalty, if you can actually get that going.
Okay, got it. So, looking at technology, it's a pretty generic term. Anything which is a software is a technology, and a new hardware is also technology. Any enabling device like internet, Ethernet, is also technology. Technology has many dimensions, and when we say adoption of technology, we are talking about making them part of your daily functionality in some way. The mobile application is also a technology. Some accounting and maybe data management is happening through there. Recent developments, I'll just quote few recent developments which has happened. Government has initiated Digital India framework in which payments are happening digitally today. Even Sabzi wala is ready to accept an online payment. E-rickshaw wala is ready to accept an online payment. A food vendor is ready to accept online. So a lot of cash circulation has reduced because of transactional adoption. Now government is moving ahead of it. Recently, last week itself, they announced that they are coming with unified lending interface. One was unified payment interface, जो transactional था. ये unified lending interface. Jandan they already did for connecting the accounts and helping them introduce them to the lending ecosystem, or first time lending for those who are unlendable. A lot of these things are brought up by government time and again. I think government is also moving towards digitizing India, not only for individuals but also for enterprises. इसी में आपने देखा होगा जो गवर्नमेंट एंगेजमेंट में कंपनीज हैं जो गवर्नमेंट ऑर्डर्स फुलफिल करते हैं उनको ट्रेड्स पे रजिस्टर करना इंपॉर्टेंट है. फिर जेम पोर्टल एक उन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया जहां से वो टेंडर एक्सेस करते हैं. ट्रेड से वो करना चाह रहे हैं सप्लाई चेन फाइनेंस को ईज करना, कि आपके अगर कोई ड्यूज बचे हुए हैं तो उसको टाइमली मिल जाए या उसकी फाइनेंसिंग हो जाए. All these are government initiatives. None of it is done by private institutions. But there are private institutions like Zoho, there are private institutions like Tally, or any other for that matter, Khata book and stuff. Government is pushing this, but leaving few problems still unsolved. There are few things they are trying to address, but there are few problems they are still unsolved. What are those problems from Zoho's perspective you think you guys are addressing to solve? And how is it relevant to today's times?
Sir, the biggest challenge is what we face here is from the customer front only, and also from the fraternity. So you take any profession, like if it is chartered accountants or cost accountants, so the adoption level among them. See, now any business if you take, it revolves around the customer satisfaction, the what best customer experience you are giving to them, right? So again, I can say this three tenets, like one is customer experience, and the number one, the second one is the value that you are giving, and the data privacy and security, where we have to focus more. And on the forefront, on customer experience, how you can bring in efficiency and intelligence into the system, the business I am talking about. Second one is value. Is the technology accessible to everyone? So that are we really making the users productive? So this is the second one. Third one is how the data is completely managed. Is there absolute privacy as far as the data sharing is concerned, and is the data exposed and all those things? So the challenge what we face here is, I would have myself would have done lot of sessions on technology knowledge, imparting the technology knowledge, and talking about GST, talking about cloud accounting as such, and recently on artificial intelligence and all those things. And most of the people, I could see that everyone is listening to what we are saying, and everyone understand technology, everyone know that how it is going to go in the future and all those things. But still we see an inertia in adopting this technology. They are actually, if you look at MSME sector itself, there is no proper hand holding is happening, and they are absolutely clueless as to how to start, where to start, and when to start. So we are actually trying to address this. In fact, in the last 2 years, we are also sitting on the capability development team, wherein we go to cities across India, and we have in fact started focusing outside India also on imparting this technical knowledge. So it is not like teaching, training or teaching. It has to you have to do real coaching and make them use. As someone was actually mentioning, like in the previous panel, like they only talk about 2-3 things on the accounting part. So we talk about beyond that's probably the forward-looking matrix, shift from backward-looking matrix to forward-looking matrix, real-time data analysis, real-time reports, and predictive analysis.
Yeah. Instead of post-mortem, you
Yes.
look at how to value add in real time.
Yes, yes.
Building on to what you just said, I just want to engage the fraternity here. Have you experienced that some of your clients have tried Zoho? Many of them are using Tally. Many of them are using Tally and Excel as a combination. Many are using Excel, Tally and Zoho as a combination. Some of them are using this. Some are using Tally and Zoho. What has been your experience in terms of adoption of new tools? Anybody would like to share from your experience of customer experience, the clients who you are serving?
So Excel everyone uses. As regards that using Tally along with Zoho, now it's very rare in SME scenario. In large organizations there may be that they can divide they can sectorially divide, or they can value additionally divide where to use Zoho for online platform or to use Tally for inventory, non-related accounting, all that. But otherwise, usually SMEs and normally a business, even in today's scenario, every business want to have a single integrated solution. And that's why I think, because all the accounting softwares have now become ERP packages, that is why they are becoming. Because it depends HR management also, it has sales management also, all these things are embedding into it. So this is my experience. I don't know whether if anyone uses.
I think what he's saying is the time is right for integrated solutions, not just segmented approach जो पहले चल रही थी, एक्सेल से डेटा क्रंचिंग, टैली से काउंटिंग, इन्वेंट्री की चैलेंज आया तो हमने बिजी को यूज कर लिया, जहाँ इसके यूज ज़्यादा है वहाँ बिजी यूज कर लिया बिकॉज टैली थोड़ा हैंग करता है लार्ज डेटा पे, और CRM Zoho. So I've seen a lot of these combinations across geographies. So I think the time is right that integrated solutions is a need of the hour, and maybe Zoho can take a lead
here. Actually, many would have adopted at least one application in our life. So WhatsApp for an example. So normally a business, if you look at, there are a lot of clients who are coming to us. No, they spend a lot of money they have invested a lot of money in implementing certain applications in their organization. So quite often you come across business entities who engage multiple vendors to handle. See, for example, in case when we launched the GST, so it is the GST filing of GST. We are GST Suvidha providers. The filing of GST, you can do it through the accounting application itself. But what we could see is some data is maintained in Excel sheets, and some data invoice there is from Zoho books, and to file GST then they use a separate application. So what happens is with every vendor you need to invest money on renewing this on an annual basis. That is point number one. Secondly, so if you want to enhance this or build another application over this, you have to again engage some techie guy to, there is an investment. So you keep investing on multi-solutions. At one point you realize that, the investment on these things are going on the higher side. So then they really start evaluating all those things. So for example, see, if you take Zoho, as you were mentioning about all at one place, typically when you start a business, what you require? You have to have a website, right? So you have a website. Zoho has a website where you can create your own website. That's once the website is done, then you have to actually start recruiting people. So recruiting and basically the people management, I can actually split it into three. One is that the pre-recruitment phase and recruitment. So this can be managed with one application which you have, which is Zoho Recruit. And then once the candidates are on board, then you have to manage them. So we have a solution for that. And then to run payroll, we have a solution. And post that, once your candidates are on board, then we have tools for them to work. You give tools for them to work on a daily basis. Then coming back to sales and marketing, for everything we have different solutions. So typically what currently happens is in many areas, for all this to perform all these functions, they have engaged multiple vendors. But we have this, at Zoho we have about 55 plus applications, all can be integrated between themselves. So the synchronization is very easy, the data entry, and it is very easy. So you manage everything at one place and it is all getting distributed across applications.
Okay. So Shoaib, pulling the thoughts from what KP mentioned and also what Mr. Verma said, what do you think is the thought in the entrepreneur's mind when they're looking at these solutions? Is it the basic minimum that they're trying to fulfill? कि accounting हो जाए, compliance हो जाए, और that's done? Are they ready today for adopting things which can help them reduce their efforts on marketing, customer relationship, HR management, information-driven decision making, or even lending for that matter, data-driven lending, which is already happening? Your thoughts to share?
No, I think wonderful segue which what he mentioned about. I think first is the acknowledgement that the offerings of Zoho are just what every business needs. And I think that's the first piece that has to be accepted and understood. that Zoho is poised, and I keep saying this to my friends in Zoho, that this is the technology fabric for every business, potentially. And if that is understood and accepted, the big peace of mind for the business owner is now he has one place and potentially one neck to hold. I mean, look, rather than going to multiple people and dealing with multiple problems, because the big driver is that they are looking at the future, and every business is a digital, is some form of hybrid. I mean, it's there today, you might have a percentage of business, but going forward, every business is going to be more and more on some form of digitization. So I think in that sense, the need is very strong. The underlying need is strong, there's an acceptance, and if we can participate with that. And the last piece is the data. So the big worry is the security of data. The big worry, and I'm just saying while they are keen, and one of the problems is that most businesses are not data centric, and that is shifting. Before becoming into intelligent, it is just getting to start playing with data, to be able to exchange data, to be able to understand data. And I think these are things which would be transforming and shaping what's going to happen.
Okay, got it. So, looking at data, what you mentioned, data is needed in even the accounting framework. Data is also needed for compliance purpose. Data is needed for decision making as well. A lot of different decision making. The affordability, pricing point of view, the margins point of view, the budget point of view, how many people can we recruit, what's the bandwidth we have. A lot of those data sets are there. When you say entities are not still data driven, or a thought orientation is not data driven, can we analyze and understand why is it so? Why people are still not data driven when an environment is asking data from almost every facet? To give couple of examples, lending के बहुत से नए tools आए हैं market में. They are doing your book analysis and they are figuring out कि आपकी कितनी lendability हो सकती है. Then there are particular products like revenue based financing. Top line क्या आ रहा है, आपका margin क्या है, और आपको top line का क्या percentage lending किया जा सकता है, जिसको books भी नहीं चाहिए, provisional projected financial statement भी नहीं चाहिए. Then there is supply chain financing. जो लार्ज कंपनीज हैं वो अपने डीलर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को सप्लाई चेन फाइनेंस का सपोर्ट दे रहे हैं. तो पीरामल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड एंड ऑल दोज एंटिटीज आर डूइंग सप्लाई चेन बेस्ड ऑन हाउ मच यू बाय, हाउ मच यू आर सेलिंग, द साइकिल्स आर एनालाइज्ड. एवरीबॉडी इज आस्किंग फॉर डेटा, फ्रॉम एनबीएफसीज टू गवर्नमेंट टू people interacting. What is the barrier to this mindset? Data driven decision making, data driven business running.
See, not specific to the question that you have asked, but in general, if I have to say, there are three tenets of the skill sets, skill set, tool sets, and mindset. These are all the three tenets which is coming as a disruption to cloud adoption. So, on data-driven decision making, I am keeping it separately. So, what we observe is the 75% it is mindset only. 75% minus, you have to have the willingness, you have to have that urge to learn what is technology and in-depth about the tools, and then you bring it to your own practice and you suggest this to your clients. I am talking from the chartered accountants perspective. Second one is tool set. It is already available, so you don't have to go in search of tool. I am not just talking about Zoho. There are plenty of tools which is available in the market. So are we really exploring it? We are not able to. The third one is like skill set. Yes, that is by getting trained on this, understanding, you explore the product. That will itself, the tool itself will navigate to different functionalities, and you will understand. So when you get into this, then you apply up. See, if you look at Zoho books, we have more than 70 reports which can be generated in 8 seconds of time. Real time data we are talking about. You want the balance sheet at 8 o'clock in the evening, just click of a button and it is there in front of you. When you get into this, then you understand the importance of data. Today we are not talking about data. As someone was talking about, you are only like postmortem, doing postmortem. After finalization of books of accounts, we just work on the backward mapping. Yeah, क्या हुआ था, वहाँ क्या हुआ था, like ये ऐसा होना चाहिए था. So this is where we did the mistake and all. So today we don't have time. Business entities are not having time to get into all those things. Abhi at this second, in which direction my business is moving. So for this, the data is a tool, or that it can be. We cannot actually always deal with historical data. Probably the client, emerging client, the youngsters, the younger business groups may not be interested in a postmortem. So, but what they am I able to get 2 o'clock my total AP or total AR? So that is the, something which people are looking at. So this is what I wanted to say as far as the data.
So you talked about really 3 very important points: mindset, availability of tools, and skill set. I was actually looking at these parameters. What is holding them to become data driven? So you rightly pointed. Shoaib, you want to add to any of these 3 things?
No, I think very well said. The mindset is a big issue, and I just thought for myself that how do I make my decisions? Let's be honest here. I make my decisions first intuitively. There's a gut feeling. And then I take data and validate it and say, yeah, okay, this makes sense. But that's me. And useful to understand, and like you rightly said, when you're looking at it, and it's fine. I mean, it's not going to change just because data is available, but I'm not going to look at data first and then take a decision. But I think it's important to understand the makeup. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. And I don't think we should judge people and say, Nene, you're an idiot because you don't look at data first. We don't.
I get your point.